We talk side-out percentage being at 70%, you do pretty well. You win most MPSF games. In this set, Pepperdine is siding out at 27%, Hawaii is siding out at 100%.
And another miscue by the Waves, another point for the Warriors.
Part of that was caused by the overpass. Hawaii's servers are causing a lot of pressure on Pepperdine's passers. This pass up really close to the net, as good as Matt West is with setting with one hand. That's a very tough thing to do time after time.
Sarkovic with a little roll and a near overpass there, and Hawaii's going to have a free ball. Ramos going to set it up. Sador out of the back set. And Sador with another huge swing for Hawaii. Oh my.
And Pepperdine has no more timeouts left to slow this Warrior machine down. They're playing with so much emotion right now as well. They are enjoying playing with each other. Chemistry seems to be very positive.
The only thing that'll slow Hawaii down is when they get their next point. Timeout at 15. Another great serve by Sador. Garrett. And Garrett finds the seam right up the middle. Tries to rally his troops with a little enthusiasm. Now remember, at the Pyramid last week in set number 2 against Long Beach, Hawaii in set number 2 is up 12-2, Chris, and lost the set. So it's certainly possible that any team, especially with this guy, Matt West serving, he can always come back.
It's never over until it's over.
But Brooks Sador is going to make sure it doesn't get any closer. And this is the last break that Marv Dunphy is going to get. He used his 2 timeouts. This is the TV timeout, and it came at a perfect time for Dunphy.
There's another reason why Hawaii can't, I don't think, count their chickens before they hatch. And that is, they're a team that didn't receive votes in last week's poll. The coaches vote every Sunday night, and they vote on, who should be in the top 15 in the country. Hawaii didn't even get receiving votes. The previous week they got some receiving votes, but clearly they're in the also-ran category. When you play a team that's the number 2 team in the country, even though it's early in the year, Pepperdine has had, 4 matches coming into this weekend, and they were 3-1, and clearly one of the best teams in the league. The coaches voted them to be the number 3 team in the conference during the preseason voting. So whenever you get a team that's, that highly ranked in the country, that well respected by the coaches in the league, you've got to respect them to the last point, till the last point goes down. So even with a 15-5 lead, I would not count Pepperdine out at all. Hawaii's got to continue to play hard.
Now, even though this was an early start time, 5 p.m., as we look at our watches, it's still 8:45 on the West Coast. Please tell me that these coaches are going to wait for this match to be over before they vote. Or is that not necessarily the case?
Tomorrow morning. They usually vote tomorrow morning.
Okay, so they do wait until all matches are complete. They have all information because
yeah.
Okay.
It's Monday morning.
Well, I'm sure
at least the last time I was in all that voting, which is just 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure it's the same way now.
And I'm sure a few eyebrows were raised when Hawaii beat Pepperdine Friday night. If they were to beat them again,
most people had gone to sleep by then.
True.
It was. I think that match was over at 9:45, I believe.
That's right. So 11:45 p.m. on the coast. So they might be paying attention to this one. A little pop serve that doesn't quite crawl over the net.
My theory on those soft float serves is, I like them a lot of the time, especially you're going to pull a hitter who's an attacker in the front row up to the net, so they have to pass, then back up and get their approach again. But after a timeout like that serve's got to go in.
And Averill doesn't have a hard serve. He's just kind of a float server guy anyway. J.P. Marks block. Back to Sador they go. No touch, and that's going to be a point for Pepperdine. No, it is off the touch. Nobody called it, and finally, Verna Glibnikin up there, and the up referee says, yep, it was a touch. She made the call.
Let's see if we can pick it up. It's going to be difficult to see, I'm sure. There might have been a little right pinky on Antonejevic.
I think you're absolutely right. It was that close, and Hawaii back up by 10. Ramos with the serve. That ball was down. Point for Pepperdine.
Well, the one thing Hawaii has going in its favor, besides a 9-point lead, is that they have both of their timeouts, so they can control momentum to a certain degree and not allow any Pepperdine server to go on a long run. But clearly Hawaii's got to worry about Maurice Torres, who can go on long runs, unless Jared Lofi's in his ear, as we see Jared talking to the Pepperdine servers. And Matt West can certainly go on long runs. He proved that the other night.
Marks, and Marks taking it right at Josh Taylor. Another hard hit brought to you by Hardware Hawaii, and in both cases tonight, courtesy of J.P. Marks.
6'6" sophomore, Schwerin, Germany.
17-7, Marks. Good server. Just gets that one in cautiously. Brixador is there, and that was off. The block came back, hit Bo Vandalay out, and that's a point for Hawaii. Watch it ricochet right back at the hitter.
Verna Klubnikin picks this up. The linesman does not pick it up.
Yep, off his head. It went off the side of his head. And that's 2 calls by the up referee in this set.
She's a good one of the best referees in the conference.
18-7 Hawaii, nearly an ace serve. Josh Taylor and the arm of Matthew Cheap keeping it alive, and then the hustle of Brixador. Back set, Torres, and he powers it down for the kill.
Hawaii, in their anxiousness to win the point, took an out ball that time, and they paid for it. Can't give Torres too many swings. He's too good a player.
Hawaii still up by 10. 8 serving 18. Torres. Not even in double figures, although he has 9 kills on the night. Brixador, how many kills does he have, you ask? Make it 15.
And credit Matthew Cheap on that one, the 5th-year senior who's waited 5 years to get on this court on a regular basis. He took a really good serve off from Maurice Torres and popped it right up to where Joby Ramos could set any one of 4 attackers.
Hawaii has given the home fans their money's worth. They've gone to 5 sets in every game here in the Stanley this season, trying to break that streak tonight. And a service ace by Johan Timmer. And Hawaii at 20-8. And you get to the point in this set, Chris, where you're saying it's almost impossible to come back, but we've seen it before, so you caution yourself and you stay within yourself. Although Charlie Wade has got a big smile over there, just got that. And that's off the block, and it's 20-9.
Good swing again by Parker Kalmbach. Taylor Averill was up there with him, but Kalmbach's really good at seeing his opposing blocker's hands, and he usually works the ball around those hands.
Bo Vandalay to serve it for the Waves. Siki, little soft shot. Covered by Pepperdine. Timmer, or rather Marks keeps it alive. They go cross court. Sarkovic off the hands. Back to Siki. Again the roll shot, and again it's covered by Torres. Averill with the block.
As you said, Howard, earlier, sometimes things just go your way.
Exactly. Taylor Averill blocked that ball. He was spinning in circles. He had no idea where the ball was.
If Kalmbach had 900 more times to pass that ball, he'd pass it 100 times perfectly.
Because it wasn't a hard block.
That was the one time out of 100 that it was just sort of fluky is what it was.
And it's 21-9, and Brixador, who's fast becoming perhaps the best server on this team. Booms it. Torres.
Ball never went over the net. Verna Klubnikin was right next to her. She saw that ball hit all cable and caught no part of the block, so she called the point for Hawaii.
That's exactly what happened at Long Beach State when Charlie Wade thought his team should have gone up and won that match. Didn't get the call, and then the Beach came back to win it. Tonight, as we said, things are going Hawaii's way.
Sonora getting a little greedy there, up 20. Knows he's got a big lead to work with, and so I think he just tried to put a little bit too much on that.
You and I have seen all these matches, and we've talked about the fact that the record is not indicative of how good this team is. And you hate for either the media or the fans to just look and say, oh, 0-4, 0-5, and think it's not a good team. It is, and they've proven it this weekend. And a good swing by Josh Taylor. And Taylor now with 9 kills to go along with the 9 by Maurice Torres. 11 serving 22. Sarkovic, and he is roofed. The block by Antonejevic.
Charlie Wade scratching his head going, when should I use my timeout here? I've got 2 of them.
When's the last time you remember a set where a timeout wasn't used? And another block. This could be a good time right now. He's blowing on his hands. He's like he's getting ready to roll the dice, blowing into his hand and just keep it cool. Not ready to call that timeout quite yet.
Well, he's not going to call because they got the side out.
The point. Excuse me.
Yeah, they got the point. So I think he was saving it for the next server, who is Matt West. Because West is just so good that I think Charlie would like to break up any kind of a run Matt West might make. Because I know Charlie remembers 19-13 in the third set the other night when West almost ran the table to give Pepperdine the comeback win.